What was a weird or funny way you got a girlfriend slash boyfriend? She sent a Snapchat to the wrong Alex. Now we're married with a baby on the way. Walked into a pet store to get bedding and a couple things for my pet rat, RIP Ratley. Decided to hit on the sales guy and ended up dating for about 6 months. A constant reminder from my family about how I go to a pet store and come home with a boyfriend. At a place where I used to work, a friend of mine was hitting on a girl who worked there. She rejected him saying he wasn't her type. When he asked what her type was, she said someone more like me, and if I asked her out, she would probably go for it. I said, "Nah, I'm too shy to ask you out, especially when I see you reject other guys all the time." She came to pick up her check as I was getting off an early shift and invited me to breakfast. I told her I already had breakfast, but I would go with her for company. My current boyfriend has the exact same last name as me, though we are not related. After many people in school commented on how we must be siblings slash cousins slash etc. He asked me out saying basically, let's mess with their heads. Apostrophe. After friend zoning this guy 3 times, I got drunk at an 2009 party and asked him out, thinking he was someone else. We are celebrating 10 years of marriage this August. Was dating a guy who was talking to slash sleeping with his ex simultaneously without me knowing. He was lying to both of us by saying he was single and convinced me to absolutely despise the ex even though she was as clueless as me. After his ex reaching out to me about this, I met up with her to talk about his cheating ass, realizing how much of a manipulative lying bastard he is, and we ended up hitting it off. Been together 4 months now. We were going on a competition, both sports shooters, but barely knew each other back then. We were sitting next to each other in our club van on a highway, and I felt really sleepy and ended up sleeping on his shoulder. After that we started talking more, and things kinda escalated by themselves. My best friend couldn't get a boyfriend, so she said I was, and I quote, the best last choice, so she made a move by taking my candy cane I was eating. It was January, and started eating it. My first girlfriend was a girl in my 10th grade CL, but I sat nearby. I started poking her, and somehow that led to us talking to eventually going out with each other. I still think about her at times. I met one of my exes while doing karaoke at a crappy bar I would go to sometimes. KJ had a wireless mic, and I was singing Megadeth Angry Again, walking around acting like I was crazy while singing in the style of Mustaine. I walked up to the bar to order a shot while still singing and sat next to her and her friend. After I was done I returned to the bar and we started talking and laughed about my performance. My story is that one of my friends now was calling me fat. My crush ended up on my side of the thing and was taking up for me, and there we go. We worked together and both knew we had feelings, but it wasn't going anywhere. I ended up quitting, and when I did, he tried a lot harder to make something happen, which, surprise, was successful, and we're still together now. I asked her who she was going to a dance with back in high school. She said she was going with me. 8 years later we got married. 1. It started off as a meme relationship on Facebook. I commented on one of her photos with PLS marry me or something to that effect. So we changed our relationship status, and then we actually started to fall for each other. It was pretty cool until she relapsed and all she talked about was getting drunk and or high. I myself am in recovery, and I had to nope out of that for my own sanity. We are still distant friends and chat sometimes. I'm not sure if she's back on the wagon, but either way I hope she's doing better. 2. We matched on Tinder and had very sporadic messages. I'm talking 6 months for either of us to respond to one text. This went on for 3 years until we actually made a move and planned a date. We are both poly and have busy lives, so we meet up when we can, and every time it feels like we had just hung out the day before. Edit. Apparently number signs make big text happen. Had to fix that. Boyfriend's previous girlfriend introduced me to boyfriend. Boyfriend and I start texting outside of the RP we were all doing. Previous girlfriend turns out to be the jealous type. Boyfriend and previous girlfriend breaks up. Boyfriend and I get together. More or less a fling for a while. Stopped by a friend's house. Always a large gathering there on the weekends. Anyway, bunch of neighbors and friends will come over and pull up a chair around the fire. New neighbor was there. Didn't really know her, but figured I'd say hello by shooting her with silly string. We hit it off well. Both of us had too many things going to have a real relationship, but we had fun, and I appreciated the support. Ironically, we just started talking again after 15 years. Both of us are exiting relationships and in position to have something real this time. Might happen. Who knows? But out of all the ways to meet someone, I always thought it was funny. Relationship via silly string. A girl asked me to be her partner at the Independence Day dance at school. My dumb butt thought that it was not optional and I accepted. Well, she was actually a nice girl, so here we are. I didn't give a poop about what was happening at the time and she basically claimed me. Now we are several months strong and counting. Basically, it was more a case of task failed successfully as I didn't even care, since I had much greater things to contend with. Nevertheless, she and I are there for each other. He invited me over to watch The Mandalorian. He told me to feel free to make myself comfortable. I proceeded to take my pants off, because that's how I get comfortable at home. Anyhow, we've been together for about a year now. I don't know, but I'm now realizing I slept with a hooker twice, didn't have sex and didn't pay nothing. Lol, she smoked me up and bought me a 6-pack. What a world. I went with a girl to attend her friend's party on the river. When we arrived, there was no party, though we had both been separately told there would be. We ended up leaning on the hood of her car talking while we drank a 12-pack of beer. I had no interest in making a move on her as a friend of mine had been talking to her. He showed up with another random girl, not romantically, just as his ride, and threw her all kinds of shade. I ended up driving her back to my place to allow her to sober up before she took the wheel. And when we got out of the car, I said my goodbyes. She then proceeded to snatch me up by the collar of my shirt and pull me down into a rather smoldering kiss. We ended up dating off and on for a number of years after that. Oddly enough, the friend that liked her ended up dating her a few times as well. We had this really cool, though sometimes awkward, love triangle going on. We broke up a few years ago, but I once asked someone out for dinner and then panicked and immediately asked a couple people to join us. We had a good time and we were both heading in the same direction, so we took the bus together with me thinking, okay, don't be a chicken shit. Ask them out now. Problem was I had down at about 4 of these super sugary mixed drinks during dinner and I wasn't feeling well at all. They kept trying to talk to me while we were on the bus, but I started responding in one-word answers because I was trying so hard not to puke. Finally we reached the SkyTrain, but as soon as we got on the platform, I puked everywhere and of course it was neon orange. They were really sweet about it and found me some napkins and we ended up dating for a couple years after that, hahaha. There was this boy I was friends with who'd sit at the table next to me and my 3 friends at lunch. All 3 of my friends had crushes on him, so they sent me to talk to him. Friends ended up replacing me and being shitty, leaving me crying under the bleachers. He started talking to me and later admitted he had a crush on me. I'm asexual but we're still really good friends, and we even pretended to be dating for a bit to rub it in my friends' faces. Haha. When my boyfriend was asked what his background at a party, "Oh, I'm Vietnamese and French," I said, "So you are basically PH and a baguette?" He basically responded, "Well, yes. Still together for 2 years now." Kind of embarrassing, but I was meeting someone to buy drugs. He was with them. We have been together since that day and he helped me get clean soon after. I just wanted some coke, but ended up with my future husband. I was 18 and working in a coffee shop. He came in shell-shocked after officially being served divorce papers because his wife was engaged to her coworker. He was my first serious boyfriend. We've been together over 10 years, married over 8. We have a close-knit family with our 3 amazing children, which includes my teen stepson. Have helped each other achieve several personal and professional goals, and have built a very peaceful co-parenting relationship with his ex-wife and her husband. Life is funny and sometimes works out in ways that you would never plan for or expect. I was skating around town and some hood rat getter girl came up to me while I was crossing the road. In the middle of the median of the road she asks me, can I get your digits? Question mark. When I was 5 or 6 I got a girlfriend by drawing a fat Batman. Apparently it was amazing. A mutual friend set me up someone else, and that didn't work. I asked friend for his and it's going on 20 years now. My ex dumped me a month before the dance at my school. One of my friends invited me to go with him, but I didn't like him like that, so I invited a male friend to go with me just as a friend. We celebrate our 6 years anniversary in March. We hooked up on a family vacation. Sweet Home Alabama. Hey, we weren't blood related. My uncle married her mom, and she was hot, and we just got back from the hotel pool, so she was in a bikini, and one thing led to another and yada yada yada. We dated for 3.5 years. Made her laugh too much when we played Cards Against Humanity at a party. Funny part was I didn't know her before that, and she was there with another guy. Ended up cutting him off and texting me all night after she left while I was still at that guy's house. Really awkward for a few months between me and that guy. Please click subscribe if you enjoyed this video.